Hey guys, I am not presentable to come on camera right now, but I said, I was watching, I always go back and watch my videos, and I give a lot of information in these long videos, and I want to be clear about what we recorded last night on how to charge for groups, because I know that the pricing was kind of all over the place, and so I wanted to be clear on what to expect or how to charge for groups. So, if you are working a very large event, more of a corporate event, you can expect anywhere from, you should be charging, of course I stick with by the hour, but you should be expecting to charge anywhere from 50 to 100 an hour. If the event is really big, you may be able to push it to a little bit more. That price is usually set by the person or the agency that has pulled you into the event, okay? So that is for larger corporate events. Sometimes it may be on the lower side, even though it's a larger event, such as like the Wendy Williams event. But those events are more so like really quick, like I said, the hand polish change sort of thing, and they usually have a lot of technicians, and so they will pay you a little bit less. Okay? I'm just moving this around just to show you some of the work that I have plastered on my wall because I can't come on camera right now. If you are working at someone's house and you're dealing with someone who really has the money, you may be able to get more on the $100 end from them per hour. And the reason why I say the larger end is because if you're doing a lot of work for a person who has the money, the person of extreme privilege, you may have to bring in some help. And so you need money within your budget to bring in that help to help you so you can keep things moving along very smoothly and get in and out of the space, because that's what it's about. It's not about building a clientele. Those people are just there to celebrate something of some sort. They're usually inebriated and you need to get in and get out. Most of them, it's not about building clientele for those type of events because most of them have a regular place that they go to anyway. They're just there with the host of the party and they're just enjoying everything that that host has to offer. And so therefore you may be able to ask for a larger amount if it's something that you're negotiating one-on-one with that person to come into their home and do a large group of people. You will need to charge more because you will probably, especially for a higher end service with a lot of people, more private event, you will definitely want to have the disposable items and you will probably need to bring in help. And your parking and all of that, if it's a personal one-on-one job that was set up, you would be responsible for paying for all of that yourself, and possibly parking if you were not able to negotiate that. So that's why I would tell you to go in and try to negotiate on the higher end. Okay? And then third, I think, and we're just going to move to another picture here. And so third, I said, I think I even spoke on something like around the $30 range. So you can go 30, like the $30 range that I spoke on, that one was a long event. And so it was a large corporate event, $300 and something for 6 hours. It was on the lower end, but I do remember that it was around a slower time and I was able to just come in and grab that money and still have the rest of my day to even fit in some more people if I wanted to. So I would definitely say, if you're setting the price, try to go for $50 to $100 an hour, but you have to gauge and see what type of client you're dealing with. If you're being brought in by a third party, that amount is usually already set for you. If you're setting the amount, gauge your client and what the type of work they want you to do and all the overhead that's involved in that, and you set your price accordingly. Ideally, you do want to be walking out with at least $50 an hour. You do want to walk out that much per hour because you are leaving your home. And I know I say I don't leave out the house for, less than $100. But when you look at group parties, you're going in, it needs to be worth your time. So group parties, you definitely want to be on the higher end of like at least the job itself being like $300. That's just me and how I look at it, or more. If I'm going out to do an individual, then I say the lowest amount I come out for is $100, because I'm not going to travel all one way and, you know, do all this setup and breakdown and driving for 80 bucks or 60 bucks. That's just me. If you're a beginner, you could go ahead and do that to get your feet wet, and go ahead and do that to get your, you know, your kit ready and just get a little bit of practice of being out in the field. But overall, when you are doing groups, you have to assess, first of all, 3 things. Is it corporate? Is it something that you're setting up? And overall, what does the overall dollar amount look like? What overhead will you have? Do you have to use disposables for every person? Will you be paying for parking? Things of that nature. It's so many different moving parts and scenarios when planning a group party. Now, when you are looking to do like a bridal party and they want full services, you need to be charging again. I would charge, I still don't recommend doing full services or for groups because it's going to be super long. So you need to speak with that person to make sure that they have something to keep everyone entertained, because, and you're going to need to bring in some help, because to do full services out in the field or do group parties or whatever, even if it's at your house, it's going to be a long day and everyone's going to be staring at you. You will not be able to get all of those people done by yourself. And so you need to be charging according to bringing in some help. That's what you're going to have to do. And then you have to gauge if it's something that you can really get done. So just, a lot of clients don't think like you. Most people don't think like you because they're not a nail tech. And they may tell you, yeah, I want you to do me and my whole bridal party. I want you to do all of our nails. And you're excited because you're like, yeah, $500. Yeah, $600, $700. But can you really sit there and do 5 or 6 or 7 full sets with bling and, you know, all of this? Like, you're going to have them there all day. So you're going to need to bring in some help and figure out what that looks like. And you need to charge for that because you got to pay your help. So these are all the things that I guess I need to summarize, because I gave you all so many different scenarios and prices and different things like that. And like I always say, there is no one answer for a lot of these questions. There is no one answer, because the truth of the matter is it depends on the event, what you're comfortable with accepting. I gave you some scenarios that I accepted, and it went from 30 something dollars an hour up to, you know, like 100, you know, per hour. And I have people where the pay is 100 per hour, but the 100 per hour is usually like disposables across the board. I'm on their clock. I mean, like, it's really worth it, because at the end of the day, you know, that group or that home or whatever that I'm going in, I know that I'm going to make at least, I know I said 7. I'm going to say anywhere from 4 to 1,000, because it can't go up as high as 1,000, just depending, you know, how many people. But you have to gauge the overall situation, but don't undercut yourself. That's my point. Make sure you're charging properly, and don't try to overextend what you're offering to people. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can't finish everyone because you were trying to get all the money yourself. Make sure that it's something that you can afford, well, that you can do, or something that you can afford to pay someone to help you do. And if it's something that you were brought in by a third party, expect anywhere for a group to be paid like anywhere from 30, and that's on a very low end. Do not let those people work you to death. Pace yourself accordingly. 30, but if you're doing 30 per hour, don't go out and do 30 per hour for an hour. No, I did not say that in the video, but I'm telling you now, don't go out and do a $35 job for a group. That's not worth your money. If you do that, you're going to be doing like 6 or 7, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 people or whatever. However they try to squeeze the people in your chair, and you're going to be feeling very ripped off. So if you're doing on the lower end, make sure that you're doing more hours, so that at the end of the day, it all adds up. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video now, but I just wanted to clarify, you guys. Okay, thanks. Bye.